Masters of rock and roll. Well, hello and welcome to the Daily Atheist Morning Show. I am your host, the amazing Super Chris Mallard. Thank you for joining me this morning. My wonderful co-host, Ryan, is here. She's here. We're going to do stuff today. It's not really Sci-Fi Friday, but we're going to have a little sci-fi edge to it. Fun, you know, talking about God and whether God is an alien or not. Now, somebody actually posted kind of a thing. They addressed it as if, what if, about Jesus instead of God. And I was like, oh, okay, that's different. Anyway, we'll talk about that here in a few minutes, guys. Here we go. We'll go.
Life is complicated. These are trying times. There are many questions that need answering. Want to know what's going to help? Atheism. With atheism, you'll get rid of dogma, superstitions, and toxic thought patterns that are holding you back. You can drive while taking atheism, as well as use heavy machinery. In fact, drinking alcohol, fornicating, and Sunday mornings are far more enjoyable with atheism. However, there are side effects. Some evangelicals and fundamentalists will think you are possessed by the devil. But you don't have to worry, because you know the devil isn't real. Just like God. Wake up to your life. Believe in yourself. Believe in science. Atheism.
All right, we are back. Good morning, everyone. I hope you've had a great week so far. My co-host Ryan, there may be a sound issue. We'll see in just a second. It's just kind of low. Whenever she gets here, it may just be me. So we'll see if it's just me or everybody else. I hope you guys have had a wonderful week. I have had a pretty good week. I did an audition last Saturday. I was called back Monday, and they did second callbacks Tuesday, not second callbacks, but in case you couldn't make it Monday. And there she is. Let's see if we can hear her. All right.
Hi, is it any better? Hello?
Okay, yeah, I can hear you now. Let's see if they'll let us know in the chat how we sound compared to each other.
Yeah, let us know what's up. Hi, everyone. Happy Friday.
Happy Friday. All right, yeah. I've got something here that's just my social stream ninja is not working. So you'll notice our chat's not up on the screen. I can't highlight stuff. I don't know. I need to.
I wasn't sure if that was me or not. I was like, do I have something wrong? But okay, I know. So that's good to know. It wasn't just me.
Yeah. So now I got to come over here and let me pull this over so I can see what my people are saying. Good morning, everyone. You guys can hear us. I hope we both sound about equally loud. That's kind of what I'm going for. And it's about equal to our commercials too. You know how it is. I don't really have an on-site sound engineer, but I do the best I can. Let me see who all's here this morning because I can't see it on my regular screen. Future of Earth. Good morning. John Hudson is here. Alien shoot cow with Jewish space laser. I got to say, man, there were all these like conspiracy theories and all this stupid conspiracy theories. And then I found out one of the biggest ones was actually true. And now I just kind of, when I hear a conspiracy theory, I'm like, all right, it may not be word for word true, but it may not be wrong. There may be something there. I don't know.
Where there's smoke, there could be fire. Maybe it's worth investigating. It's not always worth just turning our nose up. Maybe there is something there, because people like to use the truth, but then just twist it.
Very true. They do that. They're bad people.
Bad people.
Let's see. Wendell is here. Hey, people, what is your epistemic justification for knowledge? Curious theists want to know. Yeah, I'm hearing an echo. Something's wrong with my system for some reason. No, it's not you. It shouldn't be you. As long as the peeps ain't hearing it, that's okay. You haven't tried. It's, I got to beat it with a stick. Something's wrong. I just noticed, it's like whenever you start your car and you go down the road and I feel something's not right. That's what we got going on this morning. So I hope everybody can hear me okay and see me okay. Awesome. What is your epistemic justification for knowledge?
My epistemic.
Well, that would be on the claim, assuming we claimed knowledge. I don't claim knowledge. I claim to be an agnostic atheist.
Oh, goodness.
Yeah. So there's that.
Okay. Sorry. It was my curling iron thing, and it just scared me because if I felt something drop on my foot, and I was like, "That's a big spider. That's a spider. That's a very big spider." I was like, "Oh no, I better check that out." So what is they're asking? What's my basis for knowledge? Is that? I'm sorry.
Your epistemic justification. Yeah, no, I understand. Your epistemic justification for knowledge is the word for word.
Epistemic justification for knowledge. And epistemology is what the study of what we know. How we know what we know.
Relating to knowledge or the degree of its validation, how valid this knowledge is, I think is.
So how valid is the knowledge that I have?
Mm-hmm.
How do I know that my knowledge is valid?
Justified.
Justified.
See, it's kind of like.
I mean, I guess I'd ask their same question. How is their knowledge justified?
It's almost like they're saying, what is it, ATM machine? With epistemic justification. Yeah, because if you're going to validate it in the word epistemic, then justification kind of, you don't really need to do that because you valid. Anyway, I stand by my answer. I don't claim to know anything. I don't know anything.
Right. I'm a knowledge seeker. I don't know, a lot of things. Obviously, there's a basis. I don't just walk around going, "Oh, what is this? What is that?" But I think that I've gotten the knack of how to verify information.
Okay. There you go.
Back it up with sources, studies, archaeology, that sort of thing. I mean,
yeah. Trust. Yeah.
Yeah, I try to qualify everything. I don't just go willy-nilly with stuff. Mm-hmm. The more research, the better you get, too, I think. The more practiced at it you get.
That's true. And the more you learn about it, the more educated you become on a topic. Right. I really don't know how electricity works. It's magic. It scares me, it's got to be God or something. But you can go down to college, even the local college, and they will teach you how electricity works. And you can see it and you can make it happen yourself. The whole thing. Very reliable.
Wonderful.
Amazing
education it is.
Indeed it is. Let me go over here and just check a thing. Okay, I turned on echo cancellation on you, and now it seems like everything's better, at least as far as how you sound. I don't know how. It seems like several of my software applications got reset, and they're not working correctly. So bear with me, my friends. Bear with me. Yeah, of course, on a Friday. Father Flanagan's floral shirt is winning right now. Yeah, well, yes, it is. It's a Darkwing Duck. When there's trouble, of course, you call DW. Darkwing Duck. I like Darkwing Duck.
And the lilac and the purples and the orange. We like it. It's
Indeed.
Our favorite.
Yeah, it is. People really do dig it. They do. Let's see. We got Larry the Tapeworm here. Flockmeister's here.
I kind of get that shirt, Chris.
Oh yeah. Oh wow. Yeah. That way they could. Yeah. Oh.
Yeah.
What do you call it?
I like that.
Emoticon or emojis. Yeah, those things.
Yeah. Whatever
they're called.
Maybe.
Yeah. That's a good idea. VH5150 is here. Good morning. Social Federalist. Woodenson is here. Shirbagat is here. Shirbagat, I think I said that right. Rational Poet Jackie. Spring weather is allowing me to do my makeup outside on my own lawn table. That's awesome.
Nice.
It's a little springy for it's a little like almost summery for February, March. It has been a little warm. Yeah. Here, at least in our places, our spot of living.
It's supposed to get like something in the 70s in another couple days or so. It's really weird. And then a few days after, snow. So there's that.
There is that. Detroit Atheist Queen. Good morning, Kelly. How are you doing? I wonder where our other Kelly is. I always worry whenever Kelly Laughlin, because I worry about Kelly Laughlin. It's a hobby.
Well. Got home from the hospital, I think yesterday or the day before or something like that.
Yeah. So hopefully he's doing okay. Ciao. Troublemakers extraordinaire. That would be Duckman. Kelly is here. Good morning, Kelly. Yes, you are here. Thank you for joining us. Good morning, Kelly. And the other Kelly, if Godless Granny would roll in, we'd have the trifecta of Kelly. I think there's a new Kelly. In fact, Kelly Shears. So that makes it a quadfecta of Kellys if they all showed up.
The whole commission they got going. I'm going to start writing laws for not.
Yes. Yes. I know, right? Well, hell, the Kellys. One of the things I don't watch enough is the Detroit Atheist Queen and some of their other channels. They've got wonderful programs. If you're not subscribed to them, go subscribe to them. I mean, Kelly Laughlin, that sort of thing. And there's Maya Atkinson. She does Bad Science Sunday, right? Is that, am I right?
Yep.
And that's, for every those of you who don't know, I go to bed like 7 o'clock. I go to bed because I get up at stupid early. Anyway, I got a weird timeline. So I miss a lot of things, but there's a lot of good people out there. So go check out Maya Atkinson's channel there as well. Welcome to Troublemakers Anonymous. Gotcha.
What, here's Troublemakers Anonymous?
According to Right-Handed Sith, do we trust Right-Handed Sith? You know how Right-Handed Sith is. It is. He is a Sith. There is the Sith factor. I mean, it's like, yeah.
There's that.
There is that. Yes. Detroit Atheist Queen says, I'll have to get you on to interview soon, Chris. Yes. I was interviewed yesterday. I had a very interesting interview, Ryan. I will tell you about it.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, yesterday I was interviewed by my friend Mike.
Okay.
It was good. Mike is a Christian. He's got a friend. His other longtime best friend his name is Radu. He is atheist like me. And we talked about stuff, and their whole deal is about how Mike and his channel is about how coming together, despite our differences, him being a Christian and me being an atheist and him being politically right, maybe we can still hang out and do all this stuff. And we kind of had that conversation. You're right. And then I'm like, until our differences start encroaching upon existence, whenever you feel and you're supporting things that are absolutely, like the gay people, how, you know what I mean? We on our side know.
I know exactly what you mean. Yep.
We know.
It's hard to look past that.
Yeah. I just restarted the bot, so it's going to kind of fire up again. I'm trying to get my chat going on the screen, my friends. I'm sorry it isn't working. It's the Social Stream Ninja is the one that doesn't appear to be working for me today. It's being a jerk. Activate selected. It says activate, but it doesn't show up. I blessed it. I prayed over it. I did the Jedi mind trick even. There was no, I mean, connect WebSocket? WebSocket connected. What does that mean even? I don't know. Is this even the right show? I don't know.
Where's Sam? Where's Sam at when you need her? The technology and the socket and need a port.
Damn
straight. And upgrade the alien technology.
That's right. Who's Sam? Oh, from the new Academy show. I got you.
The whatchamacallit show. Sorry.
Yeah, the Star Trek. Yeah, okay. I've seen some of it. I haven't. The first three.
No, I'm talking about
Stargate.
Oh
Stargate. Yeah.
Gosh, brain. Engaged brain.
Brain. What is brain? You'll get there. When you watch the original series, you'll see someday in one episode they steal Spock's brain. The episode is called Spock's Brain. And in that episode, they steal Spock's brain, and Kirk and them have to go back and get it. But the people who took it from him seem really dumb. Like, there's no way this person could have taken the brain out of another person and left that person living. Just how does that not? And they were like, "Where's Spock's brain?" She's like, "Brain? What is brain?" Because she didn't know. It's complicated stuff. Have you tried percussive maintenance? That's not a bad idea. No, I haven't hit it yet, but I've thought about hitting it. Yes. Percussive maintenance.
Hammer too.
The hammer. Yes. So, kind of the topic of the day is, of course, God and alien. We've talked about it in different forms on the show before. And what somebody mentioned in the chat was the question is God an atheist, or is God an atheist, and God an alien? And they're like, well, Jesus was born on earth, so he would not be an alien. I'm like, okay, I didn't even think about it. I was thinking about God, the God creature, the Holy Spirit, Yahweh, him who is and always was and always will be, that creature, not Jesus, who kind of came and went. Yeah, that's kind of but I didn't actually think about it because some people consider Jesus God. So therefore, Jesus, I guess we've talked about it. That makes him a Nephilim, right? Didn't that make Jesus a Nephilim?
That's what I would say. He has all the characteristics.
Yeah.
He's born of a god. And even with the Nephilim, it didn't specifically say they had to be like formed and pregnant and born. It's just, it's from the union of a god and a human being.
Just funner if they are.
and allegedly, like, they feel like this is kind of the way they talk about the Nephilim, as if they're very strong and powerful, almost have like supernatural powers. I mean, Jesus did have supernatural powers, just not necessarily of strength, but
we don't know. He may have been jacked.
What'd you say?
We don't know. He may have been jacked.
Yeah, that's true. He should have been jacked.
Yeah. You've seen him on the cross and those crucifixes, right? He is ripped. I would give it to be like ripped, like hanging Jesus on the cross. I mean, dude, how many crunches did he do?
Muscle.
That's right. That's a lot of crunches and a lot of grasshoppers that you got to eat.
Can you imagine, like, Jesus doing like a fit exercise? Like a 30-day fitness exercise, like nowadays. Like,
high intensity training. Right arm out, feet together. Right arm out, left arm out, feet together.
now hang your head. Oh, Lord.
And that's why we're going now. Same, when we get to the gate, St. Peter, we're like showing us this video. Haha, look at this.
Do y'all remember that day?
It'll actually probably be a slideshow.
Just like that whole like menagerie of pictures and videos just sliding by, like, oh.
That's right. That's right. True enough, bad enough. I know. Sapien cephalopod rolled in. Abs are made in the kitchen, not in the gym. That is the truth. Hashtag truth. That's why I also threw in there, how many grasshoppers did he eat? Real protein, like him and John were out there noshing them back. Crunches, grasshopper, crunches, grasshoppers, crunches. Of course, loaves and fishes. You got to get your carbs in.
Wait, what did he eat when he was out in the desert? He did eat, didn't he?
Did he eat? I don't know.
Something's telling me something. Okay, I'm sorry. Now I just have to go look this up.
Go look that up. Yeah, I kind of wish there were smart people here to tell us these things, but I made them all mad and they don't come back anymore.
Sorry, guys. You're left with us.
Yeah, no doubt. I didn't mean that. I was talking about Dr. Kip and those educated people. But all the doctors, we run off all the doctors. He fasted for 40 days, according to Kelly Lofton. He fasted. I guess that's, yeah. I wonder, though, does coffee count as fasting? No, it does not. So what can you get? Does grasshoppers count as fasting? Does grasshopper juice count as fast? What if you just squeeze the grasshoppers into your mouth like that? Would that be considered fasting?
Probably not.
Maybe not.
Maybe not.
Maybe not.
I think it should count. I mean, I don't think it should count.
You don't think it should count? Well, that's a good point.
Yeah, you'll be able to do that. If you're doing that, you're that desperate.
Yeah.
You just licking the juice.
Licking the juice of a cricket, of a grasshopper. What'd you do today? Well, guess what? How'd you get those abs? I don't think you're willing to do it. I don't think you're dedicated enough to eat the grasshoppers required.
Oh, it's John the Baptist. Okay,
John, he's the one who ate the grasshoppers.
Described as eating locusts and wild honey. My bad. Okay.
Oh yeah, I knew it was him personally. I didn't know that. I just figured they were running around together. Right?
Well, yeah, you're right. I mean, if he's doing it, and Jesus is kind of like, allegedly John the Baptist made the way for Jesus, so he's the next comeuppance. So why wouldn't he do the same? He's getting baptized. He's baptizing people.
pulling a cricket leg from your teeth going, thank you for dining at Chez John.
You have a little something in your...
Yeah, a little something right. Yeah. Yeah, you just have to catch them yourself. Get them.
Oh, there it goes.
But hey, you know, all the protein a growing body needs, I guess. And apparently there were plenty of them. All you have to do is piss off God and he like rain locusts upon you. Like, fucking feeding time, bitches.
That's a smart idea.
Yeah.
Whenever there's a blight, they call it, and whatever all the vegetation dies, just curse God. He's gonna send some locusts. I mean, all the vegetation's dead anyway. What's it really matter? And now you got food.
There you go. Ooh, you remember Snowpiercer?
Yes.
Remember the blocks that they ate, the food blocks, and where that food came from? I don't remember what kind of. Yeah, it was from insects, but I don't know what kind. Was it roaches or was it grasshoppers? Or there was this pit and they had them all crunching up in there, and that's what they do. Well,
I don't remember if it was grasshoppers or if it was roaches.
Either one.
Maybe it was roaches.
Yeah. Well, I mean, technically, they're equally clean, I guess, depending, as long as it's just grown in a lab and crunched up, a bug's a bug.
Yeah.
Matter. Yeah. Anyway, now that we have that, they're not exactly in the Bible known for their cuisine. It's just not a thing. Yeah, no, it's not. Manna from heaven, and they bitched about it. They complained. They're like, oh,
bread.
Yeah.
Have you ever had unleavened bread?
Isn't that like pita bread, kind of?
It's like is pita bread unleavened? Pita might be unleavened, but I think they usually like the cracker stuff too.
Oh yeah. It's like flatbread that didn't really get leavened. Yes, there was no leavening. There are bugs in cereal. My dad used to tell me that in the United States there's a certain allowable percentage of bugs in rat feces and stuff like that in every plant.
Rat feces. I'm always careful, like to wipe the top of my can. Like I wash all my can tops before I just open them, and because rats and bugs crawling on top of them. And containers and.
Keep clicking this thing thinking it's going to highlight the chat for these people. Sorry guys, my chat and highlight are not working this morning. Our friend Kinsey says that's one thing I never understood. If Jesus fasted for 40 days, wouldn't he have died of starvation? Well, technically, as long as Jesus had water, plenty of fluid, he would probably survive. Would not be very healthy after it, but probably, I mean, you can go without food. You just can't go without water.
A fast like they do during Ramadan. They probably just did food fast, I'm guessing.
Yeah. Well, see, the Ramadan fast is a fast, but it's like only during the day. So at night they can get their that's a good question. Right. What kind of fast was it?
You're not allowed to have water or anything like that. I don't think between those hours.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, but I'm guessing with Jesus it maybe was just food. But maybe did he?
Maybe. And where did he get the water in the desert?
I'm sure he probably took figs and shit with him. He's probably out there like living a good life, just popping grapes into his mouth, drinking wine.
Or he's sitting out there going, fuck, manna again, dude? What? Manna again?
First God hoping for some locusts.
Yeah, just I don't know. Really, it's more about where would he have gotten the water to sustain an individual for 40 days in a desert? Because I mean, just a normal person dies average 3 days without water, but in the heat of a desert, it would probably, I suspect, and I'm not a scientist, take less time than that.
Yeah, but without food for 40 days, homie wouldn't have. That's not.
And on top of that, not eating food. Koalas get almost all of their water from their food intake. They don't have to drink water most of the time. Occasionally they do, but they don't have to. So maybe he could get all you, but to combination, no water and no food, man. But then he's God, right? He's the Son of God. But then if he can go through that and survive without needing those things, then did he really suffer like a man would have? you can't really claim, yeah.
That's kind of not fair. You've got like a leg up. You've got an edge. You're not really suffering like a human did. If you came here to suffer like a human, it doesn't seem like you're really taking it on the chin like you should be.
Right. Yeah. Well, we can cover that. Actually, maybe we should talk about that next week on the show, because the whole bag about Jesus is, he sacrificed himself. Really? Did he now? What's a sacrifice? You and I, you've heard me just rant on and on about what a sacrifice is and what it is not. He was not sacrificed, he was executed. But let's just pretend in our minds, if you will, that he was sacrificed. But then he went back after 3 days. I mean, it's not really a sacrifice if you get it back after 3 days. Mm-hmm. Is it a sacrifice if you give up? So he sacrificed himself in this life and got a reward in heaven. So it's like going, I'm going to sacrifice this cup of coffee, and by doing so, I'm going to get a lifetime supply of Starbucks delivered to me. How is that a sacrifice?
You seemed like you actually made out, because now you became a martyr. People see you as a God, regardless if you're not. Mm-hmm. So you're the hero.
The hero. That's right. Yeah. That's right. And you're dead up there with God and up in heaven, and you knew that's where you were going to be. So is it a sacrifice?
I'd have been like, take me now. Right. I'd be like, wait, what? What's going to, okay, I get to go. Let's do it.
Right. Well, but then there's the conversation. Well, all right, you're going to do it, but we're going to have to beat you and put you on a cross first. And you're like, oh shit. Okay. And then you have your garden at Gethsemane moment where you're like, man, I don't really want to do this. Do I have to do that? Okay, fuck. All right, let's do it. Right.
It was this moment.
Yes. Oh, Peter Outlaw is here. Good morning, Peter Outlaw. Remember, birds flew over the regular and left white food in the sand. Oh, what a way to think about it, bro. What a way to think about it. Remember, birds flew over on the regular. Birds flew on the regular, right? Regularly, and left white food in the sand.
Oh.
Right. Well, I wouldn't. It doesn't sound appealing, and they weren't appealed by the manna. I don't know how, I don't know. But there is a thing I do remember, that the manna would fall and it didn't last very long. It's not like you could keep it and carry it with you. I guess that's how bird poop would be as well. And then we talked about the legworms. Remember, we talked about the parasites they get from drinking water or from eating infected food that had the parasites in it, where the legs, which would explain the snakes, where they claimed that they complained about the food, so the snakes came and got them. So maybe they complained about the manna from heaven, got some other kind of food source, and that's where they got the parasites from the other food source.
Damn, they couldn't win.
Right? Giles says, this manna tastes like bird shit. So it does. So it does. Right. Manna don't keep for long. That's right. Peter Outlaw says. And I guess bird shit wouldn't either, not in the desert. Not with a bunch of hungry people around.
Magically it keep or something on the Sabbath, like you could pick extra the day before the Sabbath and it would keep on the Sabbath, so you didn't have to do, I don't know, some miracle. So it's like God's doing all this crazy stuff to allegedly help you survive. Why couldn't he just give you some real food then?
Right.
Ew.
No doubt. Right. I mean, I'm just saying.
I mean, how are babies supposed to eat this stuff? Like if you have a nursing baby, and not all moms can nurse, or maybe the mom dies in childbirth. I mean, how are you feeding the,
it's complicated. It is complicated. Wet nurses, I guess, maybe a wet nurse.
Yeah,
I was a wet nurse once.
And and again, that's, if you had enough supply, but if you cared enough for your, I guess, tribe, you would offer the other tit for another baby.
One would think. Yeah. There's also the thing about I had always thought of manna as like a bread-like substance with other nutritional things in it. Bread-like. Not, but that's just me. I don't think I ever got that anywhere. It's just, you think food from heaven. What would that be? I don't know, but I get, who knows? Ooh, Fern Love Bomb.
Describe it like sugary.
Maybe.
Like flaky? I don't know.
I'll tell you what. Let's take a break.
Like powdered sugar. Sorry.
Oh.
That's how.
Oh, really?
I don't know that that's what it is, but that's what my brain thought of it as like a kid.
Now I'm starting to think of more of a white little putty and little spots about that big around. Thank you to who was it that did that to me? Peter Outlaw. Much appreciated. We're going to take a quick break, my friends, and whenever we come back, I'll turn on the phone lines and we'll take calls, and otherwise we'll just talk sci-fi and have fun for the rest of the day, however it goes. And I think how many people we got? 41 watching. All right, I'll wait until later in the show and we'll do the Pharaoh's curse. I don't do it very often on the show, so I'll wait until near the end of the show and we'll do the Pharaoh's curse because everybody loves that song. Let's go with let's do this one here. Let's go. Boop, boop, boop.
Flanagan!
Yes, sir. Very disturbing, I know.
Fetch me Father Flanagan.
Your Highness.
You are in the presence of His Holiness, the Pupius Maximus, guardian of the sacred fire hydrant, defender of the holy tennis ball, and eater of the golden kibble, Pup Oliver Poopsalop the Fifth.
Your Popedom. I heard you have a bone to pick with me.
Condoms, Father Flanagan?
No, thank you. I've got plenty.
That's what I mean. Why are you selling condoms?
Oh, you mean our Pharaoh sombrero line of condoms? Understood.
You know how we feel about those around here.
Well, they're not to be used by the Catholics, of course.
Not for Catholics?
No, they're part of our Sinner Gonna Sin lack of faith outreach program.
A sinner gonna what?
It's like getting the tithe, but from the heretics and the heathens and the atheists.
Oh, well, when you put it like that.
But, Your Highness, this will reflect very poorly on the church.
True. You know what this means, Flanagan?
Warning label, a warning label on the box, not for Catholics in big letters.
Too subtle.
Instant purgatory if used by Catholics.
I like it. Divine branding.
Excellent, your Popedom. Would there be anything else?
That will be all. You may leave.
And we're back. Oh, well, some of us are back. Let me do that. I didn't notice she wasn't there. Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us again. John Hudson asks, it's a legitimate question. John asks a question, and she's back, so maybe she has an answer. Shut up, Chris. John asks a question, do you kiss the tip of a hot dog before eating it? He wasn't directing that at Ryan. It was just a timing thing of how you sat down as the question. My head's starting to hurt now. HR is calling me. What's that?
I said, who is John talking to?
I think it's a rhetorical question asked out to the universe. I think it's probably I could be wrong, though. I'm going to turn on this thing over here, and we're going to go boop. So our phone banner is on. You can come and call us on Discord, or we're going to keep the phone for a little bit. Really, to be fair, it's pretty much thanks to Kelly and her donation last month that okay, let's go ahead and let me add that to the phone. Let us keep doing the phone. You can definitely tell by the numbers what days we had the phone line on and what days we did not. So, it's pretty cool. I like the idea of being able to get it to do in Discord and work in Discord, because there's a lot of people who do Discord. So if you're into the Discord things, my friends, join us over on Discord. You can listen, watch, and raise your hand, and I will not see it, and you'll probably sit there with your hand up the whole time. But I'm learning. Steve Gedakis. Good morning, Steve Gedakis. Steve Gedakis is a book writing kind of person. I think is this the Steve Gedakis in my chat? If it is, he's a book writer, and you should go check out his book. Good morning, Steve. Wow.
I saw him on, was it Kelly's? I don't know. He
Oh,
was
was
just
he
on
on
somebody else's show recently
Oh,
that I watched.
does he do appearances? We should get him on the show. Yeah, talking about his
He
book.
came on, right?
Steve?
Didn't Steve? I
No,
thought.
I don't think Steve came. Maybe he did.
Sometimes I do that where I've watched interviews of people and then I thought that I've been the
Yeah.
like, oh my God, no, I watched an interview and for some reason, like I'm now like doing one of those social things, parasocial things. I know you.
He says, I was on the morning show, not for the call-ins.
Okay.
Yeah, well, I don't think we've ever had a guest outside of Kelly Lawson for the call-ins, really. Yeah.
No.
Yeah. And I don't think we would probably do that to just, if we had just a guest on the show, we might. Like Justin, he said he'd come on the show in like the third or fourth week of the month. And he takes calls all the time. I'd love to take calls with him and, that stuff. That'd be cool.
See his magic in action.
Yes. Detroit Atheist Queen says he was on her show for one of one of my dear friends in the community. So Steve, thank you for watching today. Nice to have you with us. And of course, if you can, post a link to your book. I don't know if you can or not.
Wait.
I think you can. If you can, let me know. Oh, hey, Jason is here. Jason from Dragons and Genesis is here. All right, so, there's Jackie. I see Jackie. So somebody popped into the thing. Let me see if I can do this. Does that work? Oh, cool. I'm learning how to do these things, my friends, and for long. Oh, there's Jackie. Let's see what Jackie has to say here. Is this how you do it? Son of a bitch. That's not what I meant. I sent her a friend request. I hope you're my friend. I hope you'll be my friend. Will you be my friend, Jackie?
Won't you be?
Invite to stage. Man, where do I do the thing at? There we go. Yes, Jason's. Good morning, Jack. Jackie's muted. Looks like she's muted.
Jack?
I'll just leave her there, and when we can hear her, we'll hear her. But there's a mute microphone on her thing. You got your sci-fi brain working, says Woden's son. Is God an alien? Really, that depends. There's. Can we hear you, Jackie? Not yet. Anyway, it depends on which.
Can you hear me?
I hear you now.
Okay, I had to have my mic turned off. No, you were talking about Jesus earlier, and it's not just like the absurdity of the surviving rigor mortis, but also the immorality of taking somebody's own personal decision making over who they will or won't forgive. I'm not against forgiveness, but it's not up to some third party to tell me who to take that right away from me. So I mean, the whole feel of his existence is just self-glorification. There you can find some tidbits of morality that anybody can do, that human beings have been doing forever, even prior to Christianity existing. So I mean, it's just a stupid. And the other part of Jesus' existence is why all the do-overs in the Bible. Okay, you got the garden was supposed to fix it all. Nope. Do over. Right. Then the flood was supposed to fix everything, and that didn't fix everything. And then Jesus doesn't fix everything because he was still sinning. And then at the end of the book, this bratty God is like a little child playing an Xbox who smashes it against the ground and runs off with his toys, and we're left in his this infantile God's wake because he couldn't get his players to do what he wanted. It's just absurd.
It sounds
100%.
Yeah, well, when you put it that way, Jackie.
But that's what it feels like anyway, being in the game, if you will. Life feels like it's a game, and we're watching these elites, this elite pedophile ring, basically just pull Americans this way and that way just to play this game for their God that they've created because they have some fantastical end times narrative they're trying to fulfill. And
yeah, and that's scary. There have been 200 complaints in the military. There have been 200 complaints in the military of generals saying that this is God's Armageddon.
yeah.
Sorry about that, Gus.
Yes.
What was that?
Even
Sorry.
Christians complaining. It's not, it's not because like, oh, atheists, hate hearing Christians talk about their religion or Muslims just being anti-Christian. No, even Christians are calling in because they're absolutely uncomfortable with the rhetoric they're hearing from these fanatics.
Definitely. I mean, forgive me for, saying that the whole idea of Armageddon is narcissistic, megalomaniacal, and selfish. Oh, so what you're saying, for you to get into the after party, billions of people have to suffer and die, and not only suffer and die, but be tortured for eternity just so you can have fun. What the hell? How do you have to? I would rather my species stick around as long as the planet will sustain us. Forgive me.
Right?
Me too, please.
Yeah.
Thank you. That would be lovely.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, that's my input for the day. I will leave you to your shenanigans.
Well, thank you, Miss Jackie. Appreciate that. Have a good weekend if we don't hear from you again. And watch out for Ryan's show, Java and Jugs Monday. Of course you will.
Love you.
Okay. All right. Bye.
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 I'm learning how one of the things that... What's that?
I was just saying that, like, when Jackie first called and she was talking about, judgment, and the other day when I was talking about the 200 people who had complained to the military, it's
Generals.
MMRF or something like that, freedom basically from religion in the military, and how I don't, when it comes to your God, I don't care what you do. I really don't. But when you start to involve me, when it starts to affect my world, when it starts to affect the lives of Americans, I only care about the fact that we get justice. I only care about the fact that there's accountability for all these atrocities that are being committed. I don't care about who forgives you, like Jackie was saying. I don't care if your God forgives you, Trump, for what you're doing. I don't give a F. What I care about is that we get this man prosecuted for all the crimes that's being committed. Like, again, I don't care about your God. Do what you want. But when it comes to the law and breaking the law, you need to get your God the F out of it. And we need to make sure that these people are, buried under the jail. F your forgiveness. I don't care about it.
And something else that I just kind of want to drag in there is we see, I don't know if this is related, but we see these guys, they're in the Epstein files. Let me resign from the board of this illustrious thing, and now I'm going to go sit in my mansion. Oh, I resigned, so #punished, right? I'm punished. I've resigned. It's sort of like you're saying, they've appealed to Jesus to forgive them.
Yeah, I don't care.
Yeah, we don't care about that. Go arrest them. That's what we care about.
Them. Yeah, ask them questions, find out what they knew, what they took part in. That's what I want to know, because they probably have answers. And once all of these people start putting the little pieces together, we're really going to see the bigger puzzle start to form in front of our very eyes. But we can't do that until they call them to F in. And this whole distraction of dropping bombs on children is really just a distraction.
Yeah.
Because they know that they got. They're caught.
They know. I mean, goodness, they don't even try anymore. They don't even care anymore. It's things are getting
right. They're not even trying. It's like before, at least you tried to have a facade. Now you really just saying it out loud.
We've got a couple of people here. Let's see. Earth is flat and Jesus is king, says Peaceful Warrior. Well, thank you. It's some people. I very much appreciate it whenever people at least announce whenever they're not working with the full deck. You don't come in here and make us think that you're actually a normal, intelligent person for a while and then expose these things later. No, you do it right at the beginning, and I appreciate you for that. Thank you, peaceful warrior. I know, right? Did Jesus flatten the earth when Mary gave birth to him? Wow, that'd have been a rough one. Wait, we have a king? Well, we do know. I love Trey Crowder, man. Or I used to. I haven't seen him in a long time. Says he can't remember he used to have to lie for a while before starting a war. Yeah, you had to like fake it. Now, I mean, now whenever the conservatives in Congress are like, hey, man, how are you letting Donald Trump do this war in Iran? They're like, hey, it's not a war. It's a military action. It's not a war. But when they talk to Donald Trump, it's a war. When you talk to Peter Hegseth, it's a war. When you talk to everybody but the people who could stop it, it's a war. But the people who could stop it, it's not a war. And those people, man, we really need to put them people on trial.
Yeah, it's going from it's going to be like 4 days. It's going to be a week.
Yeah.
It's going to be 4 weeks. There's going to be troops on the ground, and now there's going to be troops on the ground.
Oh yeah. We'll see how all that. Well, let me drag it back to this if I can. We've got Jason from Dragons and Genesis in the chat. We've got I think I saw Deviant Outcast in the chat who's who's very familiar with Egyptian mythology. Jason is familiar with all kinds of mythology. These are all talking about gods. How many of these gods? Now, especially if you've seen Stargate, right? Stargate's got their own looking through a warped lens of Egyptian history and the alien mythos behind it. That's all part of their game. It's probably, and they know that. But how many gods or whatever could have been mistaken? Or how many could have been aliens mistaken for gods? Extraterrestrials. I would actually believe an extraterrestrial came and did some extraterrestrial thing rather than an all-knowing God creature that created the entire universe situation. That's what I would do.
I mean, we have no idea if aliens have ever... Well, allegedly, Obama said that there are aliens.
He said there are aliens, and I think I could be wrong. The same way I would say there are aliens. There just has to be. I don't think he ever said that we have them or anything. He was just, sure, there's aliens.
Yeah,
anyway, Star Trek. What's that?
No, I'm just saying, but it's something. It's something.
It is something. I would like to. Well, I said it a long time ago that there can't really be any evidence of aliens because if there were, Donald Trump would have released it already as a distraction from the Epstein files. Well, he's gone there. He told them last week? He told them, remember he told Congress or whomever, he told the people to go start releasing all the files related to it in all the departments.
Where's that?
Where is that? How come our news isn't flooded with all this information about alien bodies and alien whatever? Why isn't our news flooded with these things? Because it's not there. Because it's not. Where is it?
Yeah.
Deviant Outcast says.
They don't care.
Okay, yeah. Deviant Outcast says, Chris, if I can, I'll call in and tell you the answer to that. Well, you can call in through the phone line. There is a web link you can use, or you can go to Discord and visit with us via Discord. And I will prepare for you in case you are able to do that. One of the things I found interesting is that Alien Covenant, the Alien series, actually, in a way, claim that the human race was created by the engineers and that 2,000 years ago they sent somebody back to Earth and people did what people do to this person who was Jesus. And then that's why they were going to send the virus to kill everybody else on Earth because of what we did to their Jesus character. But the shit went bad on their boat and it killed everybody on their boat except for the one dude. But the whole Jesus was there and he was an alien creation, an extraterrestrial creation.
That's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
What if that really did happen? It's fun. It's fun to think about. Like they were like, oh, let's reach out to the humans and see if they're ready. Let's just test the waters. I'm like, oh, damn, we got to go.
Yeah. Well, I really like
them out too.
Yeah, I like what you were talking about earlier about how it's and Jackie, it's just a cycle of failures. And then at the end of the book, Jesus has come back as the lamb covered in blood, ready to end it all because once again, we failed God. I mean, like, dude, go do something else. Go like play chess with the other gods or go do something. But this creating people thing is not working for you.
And how long will this go on, this whole charade? Once they try to, I don't know, raise Iran now and separate it into little tiny states, unstabilized states, once they do that and they think that's going to bring their then what? Like what?
Then what?
Because 10 years out and Jesus still isn't here, then what? They don't.
We have Deviant Outcast on the phone. I'm sorry, Miss Ryan.
Hello?
Yeah, we do. Yeah, snuck in. Can we hear you, Deviant Outcast? I see your microphone appears to be muted. It's a common thing. Oh, are you there? Ba weep grana weep ninny bong. Can you hear us, Deviant Outcast? What is this? Oh, Fern Lovebond. I don't know what's going on. Let's see here. Yeah, I see Deviant Outcast and everything, but we can't hear you yet. We'll see whether you can. There, I can hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, awesome. It for some reason it was set to a microphone that does not exist.
Oh, I hate it when that happens.
So, me too.
Good morning.
Thank you for being you.
Well, thank you.
Good morning.
What's going on?
I was so much. Not really that much because I've had a migraine for 5 days, and this is the first day that I'm like I can speak and
Really
be semi-sentient and semi-human.
Wow.
So that's good.
That is good. Migraines suck. Ask Ryan. She's seen me have them.
Oh yeah.
Totally.
I get them quite frequently, and I get them like this time. It started on Saturday or Sunday. I can't really remember, and it just went worse and worse and worse. And yesterday, I literally fell asleep or something while watching the show.
Really?
So Skit came and tapped me on my shoulder and led me to bed, and I slept until 10 this morning, which would be about 17 hours or so.
Oh, damn.
Gotcha. Well, hopefully I'm glad you're feeling better. Let me ask you.
Yeah.
Let me ask you. What were your thoughts about was it the ancient Egyptians being aliens or some business? Is that what you were thinking?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because someone on a show some time ago, and I don't know if I have mixed up several different shows. And never mind. This whole question was brought to my attention not that long ago. So now that you asked it again, I thought this might be a perfect opportunity to actually speak on it. So could the gods of Egypt have been actually aliens mistaken for gods? So could aliens have been mistaken for the gods of Egypt?
Or any god.
Simple answer.
Is Egypt. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. Simple answer in the context of Egypt is definitely no.
Okay.
Because they didn't see their gods walking around among them, other than the gods that they had in the temple. Temples back then weren't like churches today, where you go and you have services and worship and whatnot. Temples back then were literally the home of the god. So the god lived in the temple in the form of a statue. The statue was not like one of these huge ones that you see that are very famous from Egypt, that are humongous. They were, in contrast, very small, maybe like 2/3 of a foot, or up to a foot long, so 30 centimeters.
Idols.
And
Wow.
yeah, exactly. But they thought, because of their ideas about what's the word? Depictions.
Okay.
And how they could inhabit the souls of living beings, including like the dead pharaohs and yourself once you are dead. The statues were just a vessel,
right,
of the spirit of the gods.
So the entire notion that the gods, that the ancient Egyptian gods in any way were aliens, is just a complete, absolute misappropriation of the gods completely.
Yeah, it doesn't fit in with the Egyptian concept of their gods and their gods' history, because in the various creation myths from ancient Egypt, they, for instance, in mythological history in Egypt, the gods, Osiris, the god Osiris, he was a king on earth, but then he is killed, and he eventually becomes the god of the underworld. His son Horus takes over, and he fights with his uncle Seth for the power and all of that. And when that war comes to an end, there is a split in like time space, where the planes of existence are divided, and we humans are here on the divided plane. And what happened with Osiris and all of that, humans as we know them today, or as the Egyptians knew human, they too were like lifted away. It's a shift. It's not like a new creation. It's more like imagine a world that once held 5 dimensions, and one is lifted away, and the others are left.
Yes, I hate to do it, but we're going to take a break, and we're going to go take a break, Miss Deviant. Yeah. I appreciate the lesson in ancient Egyptology. Go ahead.
And Sus just came home, so I need my cuddles.
Okay, awesome. Yes, thank you for letting us know that stuff. I appreciate you. I do. We're gonna take a quick break, and we'll be back in just a minute, guys. Thank you, Deviant Outcast. Very much appreciate you. Okay, guys, we're gonna do this, and then we'll be back. Here, let's see. Do we have enough? I think at the bottom of the next hour, we'll do the Pharaoh's Curse. So if you're still hanging around at the bottom of the hour, we'll do the Pharaoh's Curse. Here we go. Boop.
Are you feeling the world is leaving you behind? Do you look at all the pseudoscience, rumors, and wild speculation on the internet and wonder, why can't I do that? Well, friend, you can. We can help you. We are Conspirin. Conspirin has a long history of helping anyone with a hidden truth. We will get your message out. The conspiracy theories you see today all started out with one person's vision. The moon landing hoax was launched by a NASA engineer whose manager didn't okay his vacation request. Conspirin was there to help out. Christianity started out because one little girl named Mary got pregnant out of wedlock, and Conspirin saved the day. Now, the virgin birth is accepted Catholic doctrine. You may be thinking, but my idea of the center of the earth being made of ice is far-fetched. No one's going to believe that. In a world where people believe windmills cause cancer, we say no dream is too big. Conspirin will take your fledgling idea and feed it to our YouTube, Twitter, and TikTok operatives. And these savvy social media professionals will raise doubts with the prevailing scientific consensus. They will say no one has ever seen the planet's core except Jesus. And science is wrong all the time. That's why science has theories and not Jesus. Within 30 days, we guarantee you CNN will run a story on how your conspiracy theory isn't true. We will also give you 100% assurance Fox News will say your crazy idea about the Earth's core being an icy ball is true. Follow your heart. Listen to the voices no one else can hear. Team up with Conspirin.
All right, we are back. Giles says it is the bottom of the air. Actually, it's the top of the air. But yeah, so wait, Jesus, I think I heard of her. But what we were talking about earlier about Jason. Now we got the part from Deviant Outcast about the ancient gods not being clearly from an Egyptian historian perspective couldn't have been, you know. I get that totally. We all know how that is. Let me pull that down. But then we also had Jason in the. Of course, I don't believe in it either, right? This is all fun for food for thought, just kicks and giggles, right? But we had Jason in the chat, and I was, because there's so many different things that happen. Ezekiel probably is a good example of something that some people consider to be a story of God coming in an extraterrestrial sort of form kind of situation.
Oh, his vision or something?
I think so.
Tripping on whatever shrooms or
tripping balls.
whatever he was smoking.
Whatever he was smoking. So I was just kind of curious. There's lots of different things. I mean, Zachariah Stitchin, though, he's the one who really got this whole ball rolling, and just it's like pareidolia in a way, where you look at something, you look at a cloud and you see a duck. So he goes to these things and he sees ancient gods and how they worship them, and all of a sudden he's translating to that aliens and all that other business. We have another caller on the phone. Let's see. This is actually from the phone, not the Discord. And let's see what we've got going on here. I'm going to hit the button. It doesn't say who it is, so I don't really know. We'll see. Good morning, strange person who we don't know who you are. How are you?
Hi, this is Kelly. I'm so sorry I didn't put my name in. I forgot.
No, that's okay. That's okay. No, good morning, Kelly. Your thoughts on aliens. What are your thoughts on aliens or aliens being God?
Did I get the right topic today?
Maybe. What
did you think?
What is the topic today? I want to say the right thing.
The topic of the day is God an alien? That's, we're yeah.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, good morning. Enjoyed the last speaker.
Yeah, she's very knowledgeable.
I've been doing research of my own kind. I'm not that educated. I haven't completed my bachelor's degree, and it was in, not in a science field, so I'd struggle. But I'm going to do my best, and I was trying to do research in regards to the UFO experience I had, because my empirical experience is that my personal experience proves to me that human beings are not the highest order of entities. But I would never at this point try to convince anybody else of that. Right. However, I'm searching. I'm trying, Chris. I'm trying. So I hope it's okay to say his name on air, but I finally sent Dr. Blitz direct written statement asking if could humans have split into earth dwellers and a higher order of humans, because in my limited understanding of science, I'm trying to make sense out of what I experienced. Mm-hmm. He said no. He said no, and he said that something about the genetics did not play out that way. I don't want to misquote him because I haven't re-listened to the video, but I think that's what he said, but he definitely said no. And he is the scientist, and so I can accept that, so I continue to search. I can describe the event, but again,
if I may, I think it's fascinating what you're talking about. What you just said there, that is actually a staple of science fiction. Lots of different science fiction shows have species of humans that broke off and advanced and did other things, whether they went under the ocean. Doctor Who just had a show. We talked about it here on the show a while back, The War Between the Land and the Sea, where humans broke off and they went under the sea. So very interesting that you would say that. I'm keen to hear, Miss Kelly, your experience.
Sure. I don't want to bore anybody because I understand, that everybody has a right to their own mind, and I find that very sacred. But, my experience briefly was that I witnessed visually some beautiful orbs that were supposedly up in the sky, and I was with a friend, and I screamed out her name or yelled out her name, and I was struck unable to talk, and I was driving, and she looked up and witnessed something, but she is not a wordsmith. So the only thing she's been able to say throughout the years is, quote, "It was weird." So anyway, what I saw, though, or what I experienced, it was the cognitive experience was as if I was seeing a faraway star suddenly explode, but at the same time, it seemed to be dancing on the very lens of my pupil and go into my brain and light up my entire brain as if my brain was a room with all of these different chalkboards on it. But I've always been that way in the way I think anyway, so I'm revealing that I'm odd or whatever, but all human beings are very unique and special. But so that was the visual part, and there was much more to it visually. Also, I was waiting until I learned more about science to try to write an empirical, that might not, I'm sorry, I'm getting the wrong words, but a personal story. But then I realized, wait a minute, no, Kelly, don't do that, because you want to write as close to the raw experience as you can and let others interpret from there, whether it be scientists disproving, which is fine, or maybe somebody identifying with it. but I haven't written it down yet. But anyway, so that's one portion.
Yeah.
The other portion is there was no sound, but my sensory felt as if it was being. It was almost as if it was silent on purpose. Definitely, this entity seemed to have full purpose. There seemed to be 3 of them. However, for all I know, it could have been just like it also reminded me of one of those sea enemas that just flashes around its pretty tentacles, and the fish hypnotized swim up to it. So yeah. I can't say if it really had, if it was conscious or not, but it was certainly next to the birth of my child. It was the biggest event of my life.
Interesting. Wow. Well, thank you for sharing that with us. That fits with a lot of other people's experiences. They've had similar experiences. Yeah. Miss Kelly, I know you know who Dan Aykroyd is. Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. If you have a moment, you might check out some of his videos on the internet about alien experiences, close encounters of the fourth kind. Is that right? Fourth kind? Yes. Whichever one where they're actually with you. I don't remember which one it is. There's different kinds, but they've got a lot of experiences of alien visitation, meeting people in their homes, being in their living room chair, and then all of a sudden an experience just like what you described would happen. So they've got a whole support group, I think. Check it out.
Oh, I don't know. But yeah, that is true. For me, just calling in and saying a few things and then ducking away is more my style. The support group stuff, I don't know if I'm ready for that. I do appreciate, the thought, and I might do that, but it's taken me It's taken me about 10 years to get to the point where I can even talk about it because I'm afraid of being ridiculed. But that's kind of selfish too. So you're right. But anyway, I do love your show, and that's why I'm an agnostic, because I have this experience. And I'm not an atheist, but I'm trying really hard to be honest. Yeah. And that's a big step. So just chipping away.
Oh, yeah. We love those seekers, those people who are seeking the truth, whatever it is, and able to overlook their own preconceived notions. You're awesome, Kelly. Thank you for that. Thank you for sharing.
Well, so are you too. I very much appreciate your show.
Thank you. Thank you very much. All right. Well, you have a great weekend and ascend safely, Miss Kelly. Thank you for calling.
All righty. Bye-bye.
All right, bye.
Bye.
That's awesome. I want to mention that we've had this talk on the show before, and it's been a while, so I don't know how my thoughts have changed. I don't know how I feel about time travel. I know how I don't like it in science fiction, really. But in real life, how do I feel about, well, science tells us you can't go backwards in time, but you can go forward in time. Various speeds. You can alter the speed in which you go forward in time. You can't alter the speed or go back in time. Some business like that. So to me, it seems like it would be based on the all right, I'm gonna say this real quick. Here we go. Based on the extreme distances and the difficulty and the unlikelihood of being able to travel the distances to come to Earth, statistically, I believe it would possibly be more likely that if we did meet an advanced species, such as what we would think of as an alien, chances are they actually evolved here and are just from our past. They're either reptilians, like the little green alien, the little green men kind of thing. They could be like salamanders, like Thor from Stargate. The gray aliens, they could be evolved from salamanders, or the lizard people could be evolved from dinosaurs, or whatever. That's just that. Now, where are they? Where have they been? Why are they hiding? Why aren't they out everywhere? Je ne sais pas. I don't know. Maybe they're off somewhere else. I don't know. But that is, I feel, statistically more likely than running into a species that is coming this different.
Completely different kind of life form coming.
Yeah. Now, they say that there are times you can look at humanity. We've gone from a pre-human ape to walking on the moon in what depends on where you say that pre-human ape was, less than 200,000 years though. The smartest dinosaur on the planet was the Troodon, and it was around for about 3 million years, and then it disappeared. Now, if a creature back then, now this is the problem though, if those creatures evolved as we did and started civilization sort of like we have, there would be evidence of that. There would be evidence of that. Feel. You know,
you'd think by now we'd have found something of the sort.
Yeah. You'd find a Troodon with a watch.
Right. At this point, with the amount of evidence we've found for, what we know about dinosaurs and their time periods, etc.
Yes. And they also talk about having certain amounts of carbons in the atmosphere that would show up in the carbon dating or whatever for the ice, whatever. There would be other ways of telling that a civilization had risen. I don't know. I would need real evidence. I'm just saying it just kind of seems. That's part of the. I wrote a science fiction book, and the aliens in my science fiction book all came from here, from Earth. They just came here and left and went somewhere else and evolved into what we think of as angels and demons, lizard people, bird people, and that's but they all came from here over time. And somebody mentioned in the chat the Ceruleans. I don't know about the Barnaculians. I haven't heard of the Barnaculians. Oh, barnacle aliens. Just imagine having a penis the size of your entire body. What do you do with that?
A penis? What?
Yeah, a barnacle. Barnacles have the largest penis to body ratio of any.
Oh, do they really?
Yeah. I think it's really because they mount themselves in a place and they have to reach it out to find a female. So it's like, yeah. I think that's
got to be able to go.
That's how I do
searching. All right. Just searching. Elephant trunk.
Right. Barnacle facts indeed. Oh, hi, Cy. Bree, it's awesome that you're here. There's a thing about Bree. For those of you who don't know, Bree does a show on mythological creatures. I don't want to. That's not right. There's a better word. Cryptids. Cryptids a lot.
And legendary. All the fantastical, magical, cool stuff.
Yes. And it seems like in some ways, the further back you go, whether a creature was a cryptid or a god depended on how the people interacted with them. But I haven't watched enough of her show, but good stuff. Yeah,
it's fun.
Good stuff.
I've never heard of half the stuff. Ghosts and goblins and ghouls, and there's a difference between these things, and I had no idea, but there are. We need to know this.
Zarkross says, guys, my chat is behind. It's not being friendly anyway. Zarkross said something. It was important, sort of important. All right, so I understand the term agnostic atheist to mean that one does not take the burden of disproving that God exists. My understanding, atheist means I don't believe in God. You haven't shown me anything that has convinced me to believe in a God. However, now we have two choices. Do I know there's not a God, or do I not know? Do I claim to know? If you claim to know, then you're a Gnostic atheist. I know there is not a God. I'm a Gnostic atheist. Or I cannot say for 100% certainty that there is not a God. Therefore, I'm an agnostic atheist. And that's the difference. So you can be a Gnostic atheist and agnostic atheist. But if you claim to be a Gnostic atheist, then the burden of proof is, how do you know that? How do you know? How can you use the word know there? Anyway. Dan reached out to me about coming on Truth Wanted, but it's been a minute. Oh, hey, that'd be good for you to get on Truth Wanted. You probably enjoy that with some of the things they've got going on over there. Some calls that I'm sure they would probably have would be a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. You know, let's talk about this for a minute, Miss Ryan. So you're going back and you're watching Andromeda. How's that going?
Mm-hmm.
Are you still doing it? How's it going?
Good. I don't remember where I don't know. We're not that far in. I don't believe so. What was the last episode we watched? My goodness. Yeah, I don't know. It's hard for me to even remember. I'm still trying to get a grasp on what the characters do and who they are and whatnot, because they're not really a cohesive group at this point. You know, they're kind of just thrown together, and just because it's a job, he's got the ship, I guess, and they need a place to be, so it's working out for them. But I don't know. He seems to have high hopes of getting back together, some kind of
alliance or something. Yeah,
an alliance. I'm trying to think of what exactly with that ragtag team. So I'm trying to figure out who these ragtag people are. Yeah. It's an interesting. I just learned that ugly bat dude, they're just born killers. I didn't realize that. I guess I missed that part.
You would think that'd be obvious, though, kind of looking at him. But
oh God, yeah.
But he's a priest, right? He's a pacifist. He's a priest. Yeah, I believe he is. He's
totally tried to, but allegedly, I don't know. He said something to the effect of I don't know. He was talking a lot or whatever, so that way he wasn't thinking about killing somebody or whatever. I was like, oh damn, it's like that. Okay.
Yeah, they're really into the killing thing. Yeah. Kinsey says octopuses can detach their peni maybe, anyway, the penises, and toss it, or their penis, understood, singular, and toss it at a female who wants to mate with it. Who it wants to mate with it. You know, if it worked that way. I don't think they do. I think they may grow another one, though.
Oh, okay. So it's just this got stuff in it you might want. Do you want it? Here you go. And just right. And it's it's like the Job's family of penises, because it'll come back better than before. Yeah, right. Who cares about that old family that just lost and the kids that you raised for 20, years, whatever. F them kids. We're going to get some new ones. You're going to get a new penis.
I don't like those kids.
Never been used.
Here's the thing. I did notice somebody posted a comment. Zach Petronoff. Thank you, Zach, for joining us this morning. Made a comment about Kelly and her asking Dr. Blitz. I'm not even familiar with who Dr. Blitz was. I just, assumed, went on with it. And Zach suggested that she would be she'd be better served by asking Erica Gibbon, because she's all about the evolution, stuff like that. I believe that's, So he's a scientist. He's a physicist. She's an evolutionary biologist or some business. So.
I need to pay attention, I guess.
Yeah. Good call, though. Thank you for letting us know. John Wayne Bobbitt. Yeah, I guess that was sort of he had his own octopus kind of penis, didn't he? It's just that he wasn't the one who threw it. Somebody else threw it. Huh?
I think, didn't they put it back on? Didn't they find it?
I believe they did. He actually went on to do porn later.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
Yeah, he wasn't doing so well. I wonder how.
Yeah, I don't know. That's one of those things. Do you want to know? I don't want to know.
No, honestly, probably not.
Home Jim Strongman says that's how I met my wife. You're talking about pulling your penis off and throwing it at her. The Happy Heretic says, I remember he was the first man in history to undergo penile reduction surgery. Reconstruction surgery, maybe? Oh, reduction. Ha 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 ha. I understand. Duh. Yeah. Whoop. Duck, Chris.
That had to have been a sharp knife.
Had to be. Oh, yeah. Yeah. How'd that? Oh, I don't even know how that went down. I don't want to know how that went down. There's
one of them ones you see on them late night commercials, and they're chopping cans.
Ginsu.
Yeah.
The Ginsu knives. This will slide through a beer can and still slice tomatoes razor thin. Yeah. That's right. Do you have an abusive husband? Cut off his penis with this knife in a flash. He won't even know it till you're halfway down the road. That's how clean that cut'll be. Yeah. Ooh, Jal. Let's see. What did Jal say? Jal threw out a movie.
Giggity.
Giggity. You know how Jal can be. Good morning, Jal. Thank you for joining us. I'm not seeing it. Yeah. So really, the whole notion, I think it's I don't know. I don't believe that aliens have come and influenced us. I've never seen the evidence that would require. And another thing, it really does kind of shit on the achievements of man to say that we can build pyramids.
Right. Yeah. If they're saying that there's like influence there, yeah, that kind of stuff kind of annoys me. It's like, no, they're quite capable. I mean, I don't know that they've not visited and who knows, anal probe people.
Right, for fun. Who wouldn't want to do that?
I can't say they haven't. I don't have. It's never happened to me. I've not seen anything. I've had my own like little weird experiences, but
yeah. Well, part of it is, that can we even trust our own experiences? I mean,
that's the difficulty in it.
Yeah.
Because we can, without even meaning to, we can elucidate things in our mind and
we can want them to be.
Yeah.
Want them to have been.
One time I had this, what I would say was screaming in my ear. I was just one night getting ready for bed, and I swear to God, somebody screamed in my ear. And at what I thought I heard, I reacted and put my hand up and looked, because I was like, oh my God, is somebody like trying to scare me? Like, is somebody attacking me? And then for that moment, I had to stand there and go like, okay, what was that? Did I make that up? Or, was there water in my ear and it shifted and it just made a sound that was like scream. I don't know. And to this day, I have no idea. But, for a moment I was like, okay, that was scary, but I think I'm okay. I think I'm safe. And maybe it was not what I think it was. So,
right.
Yeah.
Well, there are a lot of, we joke about it on the show. We do it all the time about probing cowboys not cowboys, probing redneck asses and ripping the lips and stuff off of cowboys. I don't know if they're coming here to do that. We joke about that kind of often. But then when we bring it into context of stories like Kelly's, that's not what happened. You would think a lot of the stories are told about, you would think from our perspective, that it's really studying, learning, taking a person and learning the stuff about them and trying to, as best you can, return them unharmed. It really does seem less bloviated. Is that less hyperbolic than the whole what we get from the 50s and 60s and 70s of alien contact? So could it be, and who would it be, and what are they wanting to learn? Those are some interesting questions. Yeah. And I would think that if Donald Trump really had aliens, we would know by now. It's been a week, baby.
Now would be the time to tell us, because he would love a distraction. But I mean, nothing.
But instead, we went to war with Iran.
There you go.
Yeah. So I'm going to do just a little break real quick. Whenever we come back, we will wrap up the show. We'll do the thing at the place with the stuff for the people. You guys are the people. Let's see. You know what? We're going to do the Pharaoh's Curse. You guys have been hanging out. We're going to do it. Here we go. Boop. Mi burrito es tan bueno. It burns when I pee. Abraham had the crotch cooties and gave his sister wife to me. El ataco fue no bueno. It stings like a bee. They told me she was his sister. Now I'm plagued between the knees. I've got the Pharaoh's curse, a case of penile plague. I've got the Pharaoh's curse. There's fire between my legs. Mi burrito está no bueno.
full bladder of fear. Abraham's lies and Sarai's touch have left me itching front to rear. Mi burrito está bueno, it burns when I pee. Abraham had the crotch cooties and gave his sister wife to me. I've got the Pharaoh's curse, a case of penal plague. I've got the Pharaoh's curse, there's fire between my legs. Mi burrito está no bueno, a full bladder I fear. Abraham's lies and Sarai's touch have left me itching front to rear. Mi burrito está no bueno, it burns when I pee. Abraham had the crotch cooties and gave his sister wife to me. I've got the Pharaoh's curse, a case of penal plague. I've got the Pharaoh's curse, there's fire between my legs. I've got the Pharaoh's curse, a case of penal plague. I've got the Pharaoh's curse, there's fire between my legs.
All right, and we are back, my friends. Let's see. So, cafe is apparently, it looks like a lot of copy paste, but Kelly's got that. Thank you, Kelly, for taking care of that. The Trinity needs to be 3 to be 1. You know, I don't really, do you understand the Trinity thing? I mean, I understand it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's, go ahead.
Because it's a monotheistic system. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. So they basically had to come up with a way to like figure out, wait, where would Jesus fit in the system? Wait, if he is actually God, then we're not really worshiping more than one God. It's just one God. And he's, just himself out here, down here for us. That's all. It's the same God. It's the same thing. It's just one God. It's monotheist.
Exactly right. That's right. It's their way. It's their way of worshiping Jesus. Yeah, because they're not supposed to worship Jesus. They're supposed to worship God, but they want to worship Jesus. Right. But by saying Jesus is God, now they can claim and worship him. Mm-hmm. Holy Spirit, that's Jesus. How I see it. Yeah. They
get the whole history. So they get to take the whole Hebrew text as their own now. Oh, that's ours because like it's this sky and this sky. Okay, so now so now that also means that our religion basically has existed for like, 1,000 years. Yeah, this all sounds good. Give me a break. It's all just trying to legitimize this practice. We see what it is. Because and also too, John, the one who kind of does the whole deal, comes later. He's like, I think one of the later ones. So that's when they were really trying to, that Gnostic, trying to like, we got to splain. We got some splaining to do.
Let's see. We got A1 Love or Al Love, All in Love. I'm not sure how it is. Good morning. Is atheism more than an imagination? If you're not sure on that point, you probably should just start with the dictionary. It's actually technically, it would be the lack of imagination. I can't force myself to imagine a God, so completely imagine it that I believe it. And these people, they really hit you, that Pascal's wager, we'll believe in God or you're going to go to hell kind of thing.
Yeah.
Really, it's like you go, okay, I want to go in this other room now and start believing in God now. Really? You can do that? You can believe or disbelieve?
Just like that.
Just by saying,
love, just how love is like a light switch. You just turn it off and on.
And again, that's why circumcision came about, just so you could prove that you weren't lying. You have to give up some flesh. Yeah.
Put some.
You say you want to be part of our group. That's exactly right. Or out of the game. Yeah.
They probably like cast lots with it. Like you chopped it off and then they'd, shake it and throw it against the wall to see where it landed. Sorry, that's
hard. Oh my goodness. Well, we've often talked about what does God do with all those foreskins? I'm sure, he makes necklaces and earrings out of them and stuff like that. I'm convinced now.
Absolutely.
He's got a whole
like
wardrobe.
Callie, just like the knot. Yeah, he would wear
Do they do that?
the heads around their necks or around their waists. He's absolutely got the foreskins around his neck. Yeah.
Wow. Who'd have thunk it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Can you imagine the smell?
I mean, that would put fear into the hearts of your opponents, would it not?
Yes, it probably would.
You smell them
It
coming.
would. Yeah, you could. You could. You'd want to be upwind, I guess. I'm just saying.
Yeah,
I was
be downwind.
I was kind of, since let's talk about this just briefly for a moment. I was watching before the show, the Dr. Carrier and Dr. Ehrman talk about whether or not Jesus was real. And one of the things that Dr. Ehrman was saying was that you've got the Luke, which was written by Mark, or so you got Matthew and Mark, which was based off of Luke, and John was based, it's actually Matthew and Luke were based on Mark. And John is pretty much based on its own. It's got its own extra sources. And then these other two also have their extra sources. And since they have so many extra sources that are not really just part of Mark, that kind of leads to believe that Jesus is real or that they're telling the truth. I'm like, no, it really doesn't, does it? I mean, it's like, especially as long after as they were written, it's kind of like saying, okay, so Spider-Man episode 4 was written here, and this other episode, and this one was based on these two episodes. These are like a 3-parter, and that's fine. And this one over here is a completely different, it's Spider-Verse. And, but because they're all written about the same Spider-Man, it must mean they're true. He was real.
Yeah.
That's how I see it.
They're saying they have outside sources, so say for instance, if Matthew is using Mark, which it does, but also it's using some other outside source that allegedly also too, Luke, who also used Mark, also used this other outside source that Matthew also used. So they're using that other external outside source to say, that proves this person exists. I just feel that could be because these stories are being spread orally, maybe they're passing stories around. That's where it's coming from. I don't know. There's they don't have proof of it yet. This Q source, what they call it, other than what you and I just spoke of.
Well, one of the things
I feel like that's flimsy. But I don't know. I guess it suits them.
Yeah. Well, we talked about it on the show about how John didn't actually meet Jesus. He saw him in a vision. Other people have said, well, John did meet the disciples. He met a couple of the disciples. Okay. So John may have met a couple of disciples, may have. But Bart Ehrman was saying one of the things that led credence to his belief that Jesus was real was because about Mark talking about how he actually mentioned some of Jesus's actions or like his disciples and these things. He didn't really talk about any of his preachings, according to Bart Ehrman, but he talked about some of the things he did or whatever. And I'm like, well, it kind of sounds like somebody who got a glancing blow of something. And, again, it didn't seem like validation that Jesus was real for the argument that Jesus was real based on what they're going. I haven't gotten to go watch it all yet. But.
And you have to also
Paul, yeah.
In my opinion, okay, so all of this happened in Canaan, but it's written down where? In Rome. Am I right? Am I not?
Hebrew in Rome. Yeah.
So,
or Greek.
Boy, that's so disconnected. Yeah. So number one, they're anonymous. We don't know who John is. We don't know who Mark is. We don't know who Matthew is. We don't know who Luke is. We don't know who these people are. What we do know is that none of those people, none of those gospels mention Paul. Where's Paul in all of this?
Right.
How come we basically attribute what Christians do today to Paulinism But why do the Gospels? There's nothing. There's such a big disconnect there. I don't know. It makes me feel like there's something we've just not uncovered yet. We've not thought of yet.
Right.
And I hope maybe if we keep probing instead of just accepting what we've been fed, that maybe we'll find it because we're actually looking.
Right.
Keep that door open.
Have you heard about Joseph Atwill's Messiah, a Roman created Messiah, about how the Romans created him to pacify the Jews? That's an interesting thing. Yeah. One of the things now, essentially, they wrote about a Messiah who was going to come and claim that this writing was from 30 years ago, and now I am come. So there's going to be, so they wrote this thing saying a Messiah is going to come and he's going to do these things. And then put that back 30 years ago. Part of that describes what Titus has done. Titus Flavius has already done. And then the rest of it is how you're supposed to act and give under, and how it's all supposed to. I think it's an interesting thing about how they were trying to overlay Jesus onto Titus Flavius and make that kind of sound cool. The only real problem I have with this is these are the Caesars. And half of their entire bag is narcissism.
I mean, make it about themselves,
they really would. They would make it to where they would say, they would write the thing where 30 years ago it would say a soldier from far away would come and conquer this land in this way. And they didn't. They made it about Jesus. Somebody named something completely different. Well, I really think if they had that kind of power, they would have written in there about something more obvious about Titus Flavius. And now nobody knows who that is. Nobody knows that nobody worships Titus Flavius. It's not like we sit around going praying to Titus Flavius. So where did this narcissist, it doesn't make sense that they would do that.
Yeah. That is a big plot hole, I would say. Like make it a little bit more obvious. Like if I was going to be doing something like that, I would at least try to make sure I was going to get the credit for it. Like, damn.
It's almost like if you could imagine Donald Trump writing his own religion and not naming it after himself.
And he wouldn't, right? Like,
there's no way
going on it.
Right.
His name is going on stuff that isn't even his. He's like Yahweh. He's taking all stuff and putting his name on it, just like Trump would do the same. Kennedy Center, it's his now.
Right. And how many people fought Caesar in the name of Jesus throughout history, throughout their brief time together that they existed together? You know what I mean? So there are things that just kind of don't make a lot of sense. Some of it does. There are good questions like, why is the New Testament written here? Why don't we know these things? There's just some things that just kind of don't fit together. Why did it take
so long for like when you consider it, it takes until like 300-ish, right? Till Constantine, till where there's finally where they're writing these Bibles up, and then he's making the bishops actually state leaders. So now the church is infused with the government. So where they were independent, now they're being state religionized, or, I said that wrong, but you know exactly what I'm saying. Why did it take so long for that to happen if this was already an invention of that empire? It seems like you kind of wasted some time there where you could have really got running with that ball, You
would have think that he would have had a revelation and said, hey, look, here's his holy works that we found that says, this is good. You would think.
Let's run with it. Now we can really, maybe they would have grouped stuff up far quicker than that, but I don't know.
Yeah, again, we're talking about the same kind of people, like I say, with the narcissistic personalities like Donald Trump, like Adolf Hitler, like Mussolini. Forgive me, people, for comparing the Caesars, but hey, man, an apple's an apple. And that's how they were.
They weren't good.
They built statues to themselves. They named themselves gods. There are these, there's no way I feel that they would go, okay, let's create this entire religion and name it after someone else. Best you're going to get is render unto Caesar. I just don't see that. It would be like worship Caesar. He is the conduit through which God came. If you can do that sort of thing.
Little winks and nods to, I think that's too subtle, you know, it's not on the nose enough for what the Roman Empire does, because what they basically did in the 300s is they finally were like, oh, this is something we can steal. Did they not steal everything? Like a lot of stuff that was good about the Roman empires because they stole it from other people. Sorry, not sorry. It's really what they did. Not saying they weren't smart, but that's just kind of like their steez, their style. So similarly, when they saw something maybe brouhahaing in this little Christian sect, they were like, we can use this to our advantage. That's how I see it. That's what to me makes more sense.
Yeah.
You know, I think the idea is fascinating. I'm not saying there couldn't be something there, but I don't know.
You know, it'd be interesting to find out. For me, though, and we've talked about it on the show, it's really the lack of contemporary sources combined with the claims made. You make these claims about Jesus. You know, oh, well, Jesus must have risen from the dead because it says it in Matthew, Mark, and John, and Paul, all four of them, even though these two were written by these. So it must be real. No, it doesn't. That doesn't necessarily mean it's real. It just means two different writers had their own story, their own sci-fi fiction story about how Jesus went from point A to point B. That's all. I mean,
they even say, I don't know if it was Luke, but they said basically something to the extent of other people were putting their shit out there, so I was like, I got to throw my stuff into the ring too.
But, I mean,
does it not tell you everything that you need to know? Like, come on. It doesn't feel genuine, but there's another word I'm thinking of. Organic. Sorry, that's the word I'm thinking of. It doesn't feel that organic.
Natural and organic. True that.
Yeah, it feels like something out of I do feel like it's something out of the Roman Empire because that's where it came from, which gives me like sneaky sus. Like that just feels a little off. And then I told you about like the word rabbi. I can't find it anywhere else but the first occurrence in these Christian scriptures. So I find that like super duper odd. So, you know, there could be something there, but to what extent, I just don't know.
Yeah. And there are lots of other reasons, lots of other things. I'm going to continue studying it though, you know, but again, really it's all the claims. It's all the claims that's made, you know, if come on, man, how come nobody wrote down that all the dead bodies rose up from the graves and walked through the city? Nobody wrote that down except the Bible, of course. Yeah. Yeah, really? These just I found it hard to believe.
Years later, how 50 years later? Give me a break.
At best, yeah. All right, you know what? I think we are done for the day. I'm gonna read our super chats real quick. I think one snuck by us. Henrim earlier for $2 said keep pounding. Thank you, Henrim, for the pounding. We will keep pounding very much. And Beard of Empathy became a channel supporter for a whole $1, or it's just $1 a month. Become a channel supporter, and you can use all the little emotes down there, the dog emotes and all that fantastical stuff. So, all right, my friends, have a wonderful weekend. Ryan, thank you for joining me again this week. We will see you next week. Send safely.
Yep.
All right, my friends, you have a wonderful weekend. Send safely. Take care. We'll do it next week.
Got a house that smells like old cheese and shame. Father Flanagan's flesh candles change the game. Goat-scented thrills for your soul's delight. Light it up, baby, make your room right. When you've sinned and need to atone, light a candle and avoid the stone. Smell the goat in a holy zone. Father Flanagan, here to set the tone. Confession booths, busy, no need to stress. Light a candle and forget your mess. Gross odors vanish like sins in the wind. With each wick, guess who's your new best friend? When you've sinned and need to atone, light a candle and avoid the stone. Smell the Lambs and calves may have their day, but goats, the scent that leads the way. Clean your slate with a sniff so pure. Father Flanagan's got the cure. Turn your home into a saintly space. With every whiff, find redeeming grace. From your living room to the kitchen sink, light the goat candle, don't even think.